will be the best fit for the Bears? Kliff Kingsbury or Kyle Shanahan? For the first time, a female basketball player has been named Athlete of the Year, and rightfully so. This way, both parties contribute to each other's dreams while building a future together. Welcome back to Heartbeat Arena, episode 56, where we keep it 100% all facts, no cap. It's your host, Trillionaire Chuck, and today's episode, we're going to talk about the Chicago Bears losing to the Minnesota Vikings. Caitlin Clark winning Athlete of the Year sends people in an uproar. Asia Wilson signing a new deal with Nike. Last, we have the best segment at the end. Relationship talk. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. Why? Because we keep it raw, and every episode is packed with the kind of truth that'll make you rethink everything. So let's get into it. Chicago Bears lose to the Minnesota Vikings. What else is new, right? I mean, they just been on a losing streak, right? The Chicago Bears were in action this Monday against the Minnesota Vikings. The score was Vikings 30, the Bears 12. Source from ESPN.com. This game was an ass whooping. Now, if you watch when they played Minnesota scored the same amount of points. They scored 30, but the Bears had I believe, 27. Now, played them again. Defense held them to 30 again, and the offense, we just couldn't get shit going. But as stated, this was an ass whooping. I mean, the Bears struggled with scoring. However, it was awful to watch this game as a Bears fan. But, got to do my job. Got to go over the stats, okay? So, Sam Darnold, 24 completions with 40 attempts. Total yards passed at 231 with a completion percentage of 60%. Yards per attempt, 5.8. He had one touchdown, one interception, and he got sacked twice. He had a QBR rating in this game of 48.5. Now, currently right now, Sam Darnold is 6th in the NFL in total passing yards with 3,530. He's 5th in touchdowns with 29 touchdowns, okay? Then you had Justin Jefferson, right? He had 7 receptions, total targets 14, total yards receiving 73. Average yards per reception, 10.4. He had 1 touchdown. Now, currently, Justin Jefferson is 2nd in the NFL with total receiving yards with 1,243. He's 5th in the NFL in touchdowns as a wide receiver. And if you want to throw it out there, he's 10th in receptions with the total number of 82, okay? Next, you had Jordan Addison, right? He had 7 receptions, total targets 9, total yards receiving 63, average yards per reception 9, okay? Then you have my boy TJ Hawkinson, right? The tight end, okay? He had 5 receptions, total targets 7, total yards receiving 52, average yards per reception 10.4. Okay. Now let's get to the Bears. I mean, we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it, right? Caleb Williams, he had roughly 18 completions, 31 attempts, total passing yards 191, completion percentage of 58.1. Yards per attempt, 6.2. He had 1 touchdown. He got sacked twice in the game. He had a QBR rating of 25.3 that game. He had 4 carries. Total yards rushing 3. Average yards rushing 0.8. I mean, man. I like the fact that Caleb is using his legs. He's trying to make a play. He's not, holding the ball, waiting for something to happen, stay looking downfield. He's getting it, 1, 2, 3, and he's going. I mean, he has a lot to improve on. He's a rookie, okay? So this season, we're giving him a pass because he's already broken records as a rookie, okay? He gets a pass in my book, okay? let's move along. We got Keenan Allen, right? He had 6 receptions, total targets 13, total yards receiving 82, average yards per reception 13.7, I believe, and he had 1 touchdown. Okay. Then we got DJ Moore. He had 8 receptions, total targets 8, total yards receiving 46, average yards per reception 5.8. Then he had 3 carries, total yards rushing 24, average yards per rush 8. Okay. Next, we had my boy Rome Odunze. I'm telling y'all, he gonna be the future. Watch, he gonna be the future. He had 2 receptions, total targets 7, total yards receiving 39, I believe. Average yards per reception 19.5. I mean, he had one of those games. But like I said, as a rookie, Odunze, watch out for him. Watch out for him. Last but not least, we had DeAndre Swift. Okay, so DeAndre Swift had 19 carries, total rushing yards 79, average yards per rushing 4.2. He had 1 reception, total target 1, total receiving yards 10, average yards per reception 10. Okay, so here is the question. Who will be the best fit for the Bears? Kliff Kingsbury or Kyle Shanahan? I mean, it's interesting, right? I say go for Kliff Kingsbury, okay? When he was the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals, they had a record of 11-6. He coached Caleb Williams when he was at USC, so he knows his play style. And he is the offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders, who are currently 9-5, right? This would be a great pick for the Bears, okay? Kyle Shanahan, I mean, yes, he's won 2 NFC championships with the 49ers. He spent 9 years as an offensive coordinator for teams like the Houston Texans, the Washington Redskins, the Cleveland Browns, the Atlanta Falcons, and the 49ers, right? He has been to 2 Super Bowls, okay, as a head coach. Ideally, you can see why he would be a fit for the Bears, but not to mention, he also worked with quarterbacks. Ding, ding, ding. That's who the Bears need. Someone to work with the quarterbacks, right? When he was with the Texans, that's who Shanahan was working with. He started with the receivers. Then he later on transitioned to the quarterbacks, right? Now, he could possibly get the Bears and Caleb to where they need to be. However, it's just going to boil down to management and them drafting the right pieces for Caleb to be successful and potentially Super Bowl champs, right? So, I mean, I would take Kliff Kingsbury because I feel like he knows Caleb a little bit more, okay? And he's going to make the plays that Caleb is designed to use to playing to put him in a successful situation with this Bears team. And on that note, let's take a quick commercial break. If you're liking the show, which I know you are because you're still here, make sure to scan that QR code and hit the like and subscribe button, okay? Make sure to turn on all notification buttons, okay? So, we're going to take this quick commercial break. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Okay, we're back. So, let's dive into this Caitlin Clark winning Times Athlete of the Year. Oh man, source from CNN.com, right? By Jill Martin, okay? Caitlin Clark, who helped draw crowds to arenas around the country and drive up viewership numbers in her final year of college and then in her rookie year in the WNBA, right? Has been named Times Magazine Athlete of the Year. Now an article from athletesports.com. Now, this was written by Andrew McCarthy. Guess what? Washington Mystics co-owner Sheila Johnson said Clark's race may have played a role in attracting a new audience to the WNBA, sparking backlash from fans. The fact she pulled the race card out was kind of crazy. Like, dang, she trying to say because she's white, she's white, the color of her skin, that's the reason viewership went up for the WNBA. I mean, is she wrong? Who knows? All right. But one fan did have this to say, though. For the first time, a female basketball player has been named Athlete of the Year, and rightfully so, bringing well-deserved attention to your league. And yet you're still unsatisfied. Unbelievable, offered another, right? So, this seems very ingenuous. I'm sure she went to the Fever Mystic game, which was a record-breaking game, and saw that likely 80% of the fans were in Clark's gear. This was never the case for any other player or team, suggested a third. Remember, this is what the fans are saying, right? And rebuttal to what the co-owner of the Washington Mystics has said. Now, the WNBA certainly has star players not named Caitlin Clark, but none of them caused a dramatic shift in viewership, right? Now, Caitlin Clark did have something to say about Angel Reese. And this is what she said. We're not best friends by any means, but we're very respectful of one another. Now, this is coming from the-independent.com, written by Amber Rakin, right? If I'm saying her name right, okay? Now, with that, Angel Reese later responded at a complex event saying, being able to play against Caitlin, I've been playing against Caitlin since we were probably in 8th, 9th grade, maybe. We both were really competitive in AAU. She said, referring to the Amateur Athletic Union, right? For those that didn't know what AAU meant, okay? Trina Chuck got you. She said, I went to Maryland, she went to Iowa. So we competed there. And then finally being able to compete in the national championship, people don't know the legacy of us being able to play against each other for a really long time. But now, I want to throw this in there, though. Caitlin said that I don't guard Angel Reese. Angel Reese doesn't guard me. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they're making it a rivalry is kind of beyond Caitlin's, thought process. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Caitlin is just more so on the side of, hey, why can't they just enjoy the fact that we're just two people that, we just go out and compete, right? Why do they got to try to make it a rivalry? But let's continue with what Reese had to say, though. Now, while Reese admitted that online rumors about her and Clark's friendship have gone too far, Reese said it wasn't necessarily a bad thing at all the time. She said it wasn't a bad thing all the time, basically. Obviously, social media is going to put two women against each other. She added, I think it's been something that's negative, but also positive. I think it shines light on women's basketball, right? So I'll take that as being able to be the person that gets the hate. But I know that at the end of the day, I'm growing women's basketball and helping women's basketball. And she's not lying. She is, on the court and off the court, right? Also with that's what the W really needed, because there really wasn't no rivalries. I mean, Gil alluded to this on Gil's Arena. He said there was never no rivalry. That's why people really didn't really watch the W. They didn't find it entertaining, right? Now, if you're a basketball person that just loves the game, like myself, then you watch the W and you see it at its purest form. You don't get, you don't see, you see some of them that can dunk, but it's about running the plays, executing, backdooring, having a high basketball IQ, not having to do 50 dribbles to get a bucket. It's entertaining, okay? For those that don't think it's entertaining, then you're not a basketball fan, okay? You're not. You're just perpetrating, okay? But that's what the W missed. It missed the competitive edge, the rivalry between teams, okay? Now that they're bringing sex appeal and the rivalry, that's why viewership is going up now, okay? But let's shift gears. Now, A'ja Wilson signing a new deal with Nike. She get a hand clap. She get a round of applause. Let's talk about it. Las Vegas Aces forward A'ja Wilson has inked a 6-year contract extension with Nike in one of the richest deals for women's basketball, right? According to ESPN, the agreement comes after she announced her signature shoe, A1. With the brand earlier this year, the shoe will drop in 2025 prior to the WNBA season. Now, here's the question. Will fans buy the A1s, right? If you're an A1 person, you're going to buy the A1s, right? I think they'll buy it because they kind of look like the Paul George, his shoe. And this is a good thing for women. They're them bringing out their own shoe. Sabrina kicked it off. Now you got A'ja. Soon it's going to be Caitlyn, and then Angel Reese, and then others, right? I mean, this is good for the WNBA. This is really good because this is getting them out there more, which is going to bring more fans, right? Think about it. Fans are now going to have a shoe and one autographs, right? I mean, Sabrina got guys wearing her shoes, and they have said it's a very comfortable shoe, no doubt. So I feel like people will buy A'ja Wilson's A1 shoe. I think because it looks like Paul George. It's going to be mostly determined if it's a comfortable shoe to wear, right? But let's take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Okay, we're back. So let's get into the final segment of the show, relationship talk. Okay, man, look. Hey, Hint, drink your Hint water. I love this flavored water. I really do. I drink like 2-3 of these a day. No cap. But let's get into it. So here's the question. Is it fair to ask your partner to give up their dreams for the relationship? Into it. How far is too far when it comes to sacrificing personal dreams and goals? Okay. For the sake of a relationship, can you both have fulfilling careers and lives, or does one person have to compromise? Okay. Now, before we dive into this, right, I just want to say one thing. I've seen this where one of my friends, they wanted to be a truck driver. They woman didn't want them to be a truck driver at that particular time. He didn't be the truck driver, and they didn't work out, right? And I bet he kind of regrets not going to get a CDL and being a truck driver, okay? But let's dive into this, y'all, because this is an interesting question. And one of my therapists said this. They said that the woman I was dating at the time, if she had got an offer for fashion design, because she could be able to design clothes from scratch with her hand, if she got offered to work at a company in New York City, right, would I allow her to go? And I had to stay in Chicago, right? I told my therapist, I said, yes, I will allow her to go. And she was like, really? I said, yes, that's her dream. Follow your dream. We'll work out how we see each other, whether, we Skype or I fly out there once a month. She flies out, once a month. However, we'll make it work, okay? And I, for one, I will always let my spouse, whoever I'm dating, I will let her achieve her goals. Even if I was still playing basketball professionally, competing for my next contract, I would still allow her to go achieve her goals, whatever it is. Okay. But let's talk about this though. Let's really talk about this. Let's start by acknowledging a simple truth. Relationships require compromise. How many times do I gotta keep telling y'all this? Relationships require work and compromise. I've been saying this in all my episodes. I've been saying this all of 2024. Hopefully y'all are listening. If you and your partner have different aspirations, at some point there will be moments where you have to make sacrifices. But here's the question. How much should you compromise, right? Is it fair to ask your partner to give up their career, dreams, or personal goals to make the relationship work? Does one person have to put their dreams on hold? Or worse, give them up altogether, right? For the sake of the relationship. And let's face it, y'all. I mean, come on, let's face it. Sometimes the stakes are high, whether it's a career move, a major life change, or the pursuit of personal happiness. It's easy to say you should follow your dreams, right? Easier said to just follow your dreams, but it's much harder when those dreams mean distancing yourself from the one you love, especially in sports. You've heard stories where Kobe spent so much time away from his family, right? Working on his craft. Gil spent so much time away from his kids, working on his craft, right? But that's why these guys are legends. I mean, you hear Matt Barnes say, man, I retired because I wanted to spend time with my kids, right? Some people dreams require so much of a sacrifice. That's why they be scared to achieve it because of what it takes. Or they feel like they might actually achieve it and then be left alone, you know? But here's the thing. Long-term sacrifice can create resentment, okay? At first, you might be willing to compromise, right? Maybe you stay in the city you don't love for your partner's job, or you support them as they go back to school while you pause your own career plans. But over time, what happens if those dreams never come true? That's why people be scared to go after their dream, because there's no guarantee that it will happen, right? It's no guarantee, okay? Can you both be happy? If one person feels like they've given up too much, or worse, does that person start resenting their partner for taking their dreams away? Remember what I told you in the beginning? My friend probably resents listening to the girl he was with, his baby mama at the time, because she told him she didn't want him to be a truck driver because he'll be gone too long, because he was going to be over the road. So he probably, resents that. Take a look at research from relationship experts. Now, according to a 2019 article on Psychology Today, when partners make ongoing sacrifices without feeling like their efforts are reciprocated or appreciated, it can lead to the frustration and even emotional burnout, right? The kind of sacrifice, especially when it feels one-sided, can undermine the health of the relationship, okay? And this is coming from Psychology Today. And the article is The Cost of Sacrifice in Relationships, okay? If you have time, look it up, okay? So let's say, for example, that one partner dreams of becoming a musician, but their significant other has a stable job that requires them to live in a specific city, right? Let's say New York, right? In the beginning, the musician might decide to stay put, thinking, I'll sacrifice a little for the love, for the relationship. I'll sacrifice a little for love. But as time goes on, they may start to wonder, was it the right choice? Is it fair that I gave up so much, right? That's what people be thinking. Is it fair that I gave up so much? So is there a way to both pursue your dreams and make the relationship work? Or does someone always have to compromise? Well, the good news is there are ways to find a balance, right? But it requires a lot of communication, trust, and understanding, okay? Now, I'm telling y'all, these are the best. These are the best right here. One approach that's gaining traction is the idea of co-independency, right? In a healthy relationship, both partners support each other's personal growth and individual goals. Sure, there might be moments of compromise, but the foundation is built on mutual support, right? This might look like, hey, I know you want to go back to school, and I'm willing to make the move so you can chase your dream. But after a few years, I'm also going to need to focus on my own career. Yes, that's what I've been saying. It's what I've been saying. Or even the possibility of creating shared dreams, right? What if your partner's career dream could align with your goals? For instance, y'all, think about this. If both of you want to work in international fields, you could explore opportunities abroad. This way, both parties contribute to each other's dreams while building a future together. But it'll be real here. This isn't always possible. I just got my words tangled up, y'all. I said, but it'll be real here. No, I meant to say, but I'ma be real, okay? It's not always possible, man. It's not always possible. There are times when one partner's goals may simply not align with the others, right? And when that happens, communication is key. You have to ask yourself, can I support my partner without sacrificing my own dreams, right? I'm not the only one thinking about this. This is what you gotta ask yourself. I'm not the only one thinking about this, right? People reached out they reached out to a few relationship experts, which, some of them I used to debunk, right? I used to put them up and be like, what is y'all talking about? But, people, they reach out to relationship experts to get their take on this. And then you got one like Dr. Laura Berman, right? A renowned therapist that says, while compromise is important, personal fulfillment should never be sacrificed in the name of love. Okay, so she goes on to say, you can't be a good partner if you're not happy within yourself first. You always got to love yourself first before you can love anybody. We've been talking about that for the longest. That's been taught to us when we became adults. Got to love yourself, all right, before you love someone else. Then she goes on to say, pursuing your passions, whether that's your career, your creative projects, or something else. But then now here we go. On the flip side to that, some experts argue that sacrifice is the part of what makes a relationship stronger. Yes, it does. I hate to say it. Sacrifice does make the relationship stronger. Think about it. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Marriage and Family suggests that couples who are able to navigate personal sacrifices while maintaining strong emotional connection are more likely to have a long-lasting relationship, right? But that balance is delicate. You gotta have that balance, right? And also, you can find that on the Journal of Marriage and Family article, Sacrifices in Relationships, a Delicate Balance, right? If you have time, read it. It's all right there. So, now, where does that leave us? Should you ask your partner to give up their dreams for their relationship? Hey, babe, give up your dreams for the relationship. In short, no. Like my boy Elvis Shah, no. Like Trey Chuck was like, fuck no. At least not without a very serious conversation about the long-term consequences, right? I, for one, am not ever going to tell my partner to give up on your dreams, right? Man, no. Because I don't want them to have any regret or resentment towards me. And the one thing that they will say is, oh, I did this for you. You don't want that. Let them pursue their dreams, right? But let's think about this, though, y'all. Let's really think about this. True partnership means finding a way to support each other's goals without one person feeling like they're left behind, okay? So, in closing, I don't think it's fair to ask your partner to give up on their dreams for the relationship. You support their dreams. You tell them to pursue their dreams, right? And you all just have a clear understanding and talk of how it's going to work after. If you can't be with that person while they pursue their dreams and it doesn't make you comfortable, then you might have to let them go. Sad to say. But that's my show for today. It's your host, Trillionaire Chuck, telling you to always love yourself and each other.